So 2v8 has returned to DVD once more. Is it any better? Is it any worse? Is it just more interesting? Are the killer cues faster? We're going to find that out today. Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Pogesque, and welcome back to the channel. I uploaded in a little while, and I wanted to kind of jump back in with 2v8. It is out today. It is November 12th, 2024. So jump in. If you're seeing this video and you haven't seen that 2v8 is out, it's out. We'll get into it. We're going to be going live tomorrow, Wednesday, November 13th, around 6 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you guys tune in, twitch.tv/Pogesque if you want to check it out with me, or let's look at the patch notes for this video. All right, guys, so I know I'm a little bit late to everything. I'm having a whole PTB patch review coming out very soon. If not same day, it'll be maybe like tomorrow or something like that. Anyways, so 2v8 is back out. You can go play it right now. And there's actually 3 new killers, and let's let the devs kind of explain that for you guys here. So Beloved 2v8 is returning. So cages, they made some changes to them. When a survivor is sent in a cage after being picked up rather by stomping, so there was no real reason for a flashlight to exist other than maybe a distraction, or like a killer is kicking a gen and they get blinded or something. Flashlights were pretty useless, so kind of being that elusive teammate who's always sneaking around with a flashlight they brought in or a flashlight they found, it was pretty much pointless. So now what happens is, it's kind of silly, but they pick up the survivor and then hook them on nothing, and they just teleport to a random hook in the map. I guess it's a little bit better, right, for survivors, but I think it's a little bit goofy. I think what should happen is that, like, a hook, whether it's even like somewhat transparent or not, should like form over the pickup animation and then hook them, and like teleports. That would be a little bit better, but it's a little half-baked, but it's okay. It's honestly, it's just a for fun game mode anyways, so it's just chaos, right? So what I talked about the last 2v was just chaos. So when a survivor is near a cage survivor, the cage will no longer move even if the killer is nearby. So that's pretty cool. That way, the killer can't just lurk around and the survivor is like scared to unhook, and then the cage survivor just teleports away. This is a behavior that they took directly from Pyramid Head, but his still has the teleport if the killer is nearby. But they did it a little bit differently, I'm guessing, because it just doesn't make sense, right? You could take that one survivor and put them in the far opposite corner of the map, and they just die because they're so far away from their teammates. And interestingly, when survivors or the killer's nearby, a survivor performs an unhook action 15% faster, right? So like, hurry up, get off the damn hook, you know? Let's get out of here. Pretty cool. But this is just getting started for what they're doing for 2v8. So generators, right? Generator repair speeds are reduced by 5% for each generator completed. So what is it, 7 gens need done? It really should be 8, or I guess what people wanted is 10. I can't remember if it's 7 or 8. I'll have to put a note on screen what it really is. And it might even say right here in front of me. But anyway, so every gen they do, it takes away 5% gen speed, right? So gens still take 90 seconds, but there are perks to help with that. But for every survivor hooked, generator repair speeds are increased for each cage state, out of cage state. So each survivor has 3, right? First, second, dead. And there's 8 survivors, so there's 24 cage states. So that could stack up to, I guess, like 23 meaningful times. 24, everybody's dead, so it doesn't really matter. But 23 would be 1 person remaining with 2 cage states. But at that point, hatches already spawn, right? The last 2 survivors can get into 1 of 3 hatches, I believe it is. I don't remember that being changed, so that's still going to be in play. So pretty cool, pretty cool. Generator auras are only visible to killers within 64 meters. So as opposed to being permanently visible. I think this will help killers a lot too, because there's so much thing as too much aura, as much as I talked about in the aura build that I did. There might be so much thing as too much aura, so that might be helpful for them as well, as to like kind of balance it a little bit. Generators being repaired by 2 or more survivors are revealed to killers regardless of range. This is basically I'm assuming, like baby's first, not distortion, what is it, discordance. Because discordance lingers for X amount of seconds as everybody runs off. I imagine this is going to turn off instantly. They probably didn't think of that, but that's okay. It's just bonus information, essentially. But that'll be nice. You'll know where the gen's being rushed. You might not be able to get there in time unless you're maybe Billy Blight, which he's in the game, and maybe Wraith. Yeah. So anyway, we already see a sneak peek. New maps are added to the event, so they've taken the OG maps and just made them bigger. They added the same tiles and maybe just had that one central building or an offset building, whatever it is. I would like to see some indoor maps as well. I think a giant indoor map would be really cool, because they just exist in the game, and the fact that these are all outdoor, which is fine, is pretty cool. The fact that Dead Dog is even in here, right? So you have Family Residence, which I think is the Yokohama Estate, one of those maps. or Yokohama. Sorry if I'm butchering it, but Dead Dog, Father of Campbell's, Chapel map, Rancid. That's a what is that? That is another farm map. And then Records Yard is a junkyard map. So pretty cool. 5 more maps. It was great. What is the original set? Like 4 or 5. So they're just doubling that amount, which is great. Having variety in a chaotic game mode where it seems pretty limited. A lot of these limited time game modes in any game is usually pretty very small according to the real game, right? Like obviously you're not getting the normal perks, you're not getting the normal add-ons for killers, right? Stuff like that. So this is just a small fraction, but it's cool, right? Because it's more people and it's another killer. So very interesting. The Blight. So obviously he wasn't in the last 2v8. His movement speed from base is moved to 10.5, was 9.2. So like maybe what would you say, like a 12.5% increase over normal. He's already really fast, so that's actually going to help him a lot. Might throw off some OG Blights players. This one's definitely going to increase slam duration to 2 seconds, was 1.25. I talked about in the past that slam duration and like nurse, like that time between blinks, having that be increased or decreased at all, mostly it's just an increase as an add-on, is not good. And the reason being is it's going to throw your muscle memory off, right? Like typically how much time do you have to wait or do you have to use your next charge, right? So you want it to time out, right? He's going to have to wait for 2 seconds for it to time out. So it's actually just better to burn through all your tokens. Increases the turn rate to 1.1 with 0.9. That's good and all. I think his charges might need to come back a little bit faster. I think that would be better for the game. Maybe just, even if it's like, 0.3 seconds faster per charge. I don't know how long it takes per charge, but even like a 12% faster recharge rate would be nice. Because, he's not like Billy who just instantly gets his chainsaw back. Wraith could get in his power. They have to wait. Same with Spirit. They both have to wait to get their power back. In a chaotic game mode, there's like 3 to 8 people running around you at all times. You just don't know. It's chaotic. So, and Dev Note, the other killer, can be bounced against, so that's kind of cool. But also could be troll, right? If your teammate's just, in the wrong spot, the wrong time, or what have you. Hopefully there's no griefers. The killer queues are massive. Love of God, if you have any sort of like brain, do not troll killer queue. It's stupidly long. You have to be a true loser. Sorry, I just thought about that. I was like, wait, you could just like body block the Blight and be absolutely useless, but any killer would be the same way. So the Spirit is now available. Increases the phase duration to 8 seconds. Now that's a buff. That's a great buff. That's a 60% of the original duration added on. That's fantastic. Recharge rate, there you go. It's double. So she gets longer and it's double. That's fantastic. And her movement speed, even like a tiny nudge like that, like what, 15%. That's great. I know like Blight is supposed to be OP, but like Spirit, I think with all the chaos and all the sounds and stuff, is going to be extremely viable, like in chase, as opposed to Blight, right? Because you could see him all the time. But typically Spirit is weaker because you can hear exactly where she is now. But she'll be amidst the chaos, right? There'll be, servers grunting, moaning, there'll be, explosions, there'll be crows, there'll be everything happening. I think 2v8 is just hilarious. Stealth isn't as important, but there's just like so much happening, a lot of cool stuff. And I think Killer's gonna really kind of shine, or even just survivors having fun. It's just fun. So Deathslinger, he's now available, and his reload time is decreased to 2 seconds, was 2.6. That's actually a really good buff. I don't even know what you'd say. That's like 30% reduction. I would imagine something around there. And then increase the real speed to 3 meters a second, was 2.76. I feel like he needs a little bit more, especially because Deathslinger kind of just is good in a place where he can kind of hone his mind, right? Like I love playing Deathslinger because you can get some nice prediction shots. You hit the survivor, you reel him in. I think with more survivors, there's gonna be more body blocks. He's gonna feel weaker, right? The reason why Huntress gleamed or shined so much in the last iteration is because she had 10 hatchets. She's just doming him, like absolutely, like injures, right? Injures from hits. Deathslinger, if they break, I mean, he does get injured with men, but he can't down anyone off of it. So, but we'll see, honestly. I don't know if I want to wait the whole time. I might at least try one Deathslinger game. He is my boy, and I'd like to see how he plays in 2v8. Reworked all classes for Killer and Survivor. Killer classes no longer tied to a specific killer, which is pretty cool. There's different things you can try out. Survivor classes now have the following abilities. Their class ability, providing passive effects to nearby teammates, as well as strong activatable power. The active ability charges over time and gains additional charge when you or another survivor is uncaged. It's pretty cool. Info ability, granting aura reading abilities, capabilities, and unlock ability. Secondary effect that unlocks after being sent to a cage. And that's for the rest of the trial, right? One hook state or cage state, and it's permanently active until you escape or die. Pretty cool. I do think that whole like self-mending and like basically unbreakable, but it was like really weak. That was boring, so I'm glad they kind of added something differently. They kind of got the idea right. They're like, this is just lame. Like no one ever got to use that, especially when you just got stomped into the ground as Survivor. Don't get me wrong, I love 2v8. It was fantastic. Especially right now in the early stages of 2v8. If you're watching this, there's like a 250-ish incentive on Survivor. So if you just need blood points and you just don't mind the chaos, just go grind living hell out of 2v8 and have some fun. You know, have some fun while doing it. If you get some sexy moments or whatever, you know, flashlight save now. Get out there and support these unique ideas. Behavior ignored this kind of stuff for like 8 years. They were kind of just the head up their ass for so long, and I think they kind of realized this is just a fun thing to do. Just being honest, they could have done this ages ago, and they're kind of just now seeing the benefits of it. Killer class has the following abilities. Class ability, providing bonuses to themselves and their teammate. Info ability, providing aura reading, or other forms of tracking, probably like Killer Instinct too, which is nice. Ability to more the last remaining survivor. I think it should be the last two. I'm just going to be honest with you. The last two, if they can get out of the hatch, I should be able to more them. Just saying. Maybe like if they're at the last cage state, I can more the second to last survivor, and the last survivor is always moreable. I think that would be cool. It just makes sense. Again, if they can escape via the hatch, I should be able to freaking crush them into the ground kind of thing. So, or maybe just I can more them both with no conditions. That would be cool. So let me know what you guys think about that small change in the comments. So base killer effects. All right, so base killer effects. So what's coming back apparently is damaging a gen reveals the aura of survivors within 20 meters. So that's fine. That's actually really good information. On the guide, having the ability to see a killer kicking a gen was able to counter that for the most part. I love the guide class. It was my favorite. We could see something. I like the killer classes down below. When starting a chase with a survivor, reveal their aura to the other killer for 5 seconds. This aura is removed. The other killer is within 16 meters. I don't know if that was returning. I think they might have just kind of like added that nerf and just called it returning, but we'll see. I honestly don't remember, but if anything, it was fine. You were always able to see survivors pretty much free aura. We're happy about it. We're happy about it. When a generator is completed, survivors with no cage states are revealed to both killers for 10 seconds. This must have been happening to me all the time when I played 2v8 as Survivor, because there's like the sound that happened, and I didn't realize it. I don't think they talked about this at all, and they're kind of just like, it's coming back, or like that last one. It's like, oh, I never knew why that was happening. It could be me, but anyway, killer classes. Let's check this out. So the Shadow class ability, when within 32 meters of your teammate, you gain Undetectable. Injuring a survivor transfers the Undetectable ability to your teammate instead. This ability has a cooldown of 30 seconds. When your teammate initiates a chase with a survivor, reveal the survivor for additional 4. Oh, okay. So normally it's 5, you get 9. That's pretty cool. I'm very confused about the cooldown for 30 seconds. Are they undetectable for 30 seconds? Is that what that means? Because I feel like Shadow should always be a thing when you're within another teammate. I'm not sure. I feel like it's a bit confusing. Maybe the in-game tooltip will make more sense when we play it tomorrow. So, Brute is next. Perform the break action 25% faster. Doing so grants a teammate within 32 meters 10% haste for 8 seconds. That's really good. Its ability has a cooldown of 30 seconds. So this should also include like Billy chainsawing a pallet or Blight even, right? I think that would be really cool. And when damaging a gen, reveal auras of survivors within 8 additional meters. Oh, of the 20, excuse me. That's actually great. I'm trying to think. There's no killer that can use their ability to damage a gen, is there? I don't know why it just hit me. There isn't, which is interesting, because Nemesis can do it with breakable walls and pallets, but no one else can. I want to see Nemesis in 2v8. That'd be awesome. But I think so far they've been sticking with unlicensed killers, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, it's their own killers. I guess you could bring Birkin, and that's technically licensed, but it's a skin, so it's not, doesn't really apply. Class ability Enforcer. Move 3% faster when chasing an injured survivor. When within 32 meters hits a survivor, they are transferred, or they are marked, and have their aura revealed to you for 12 seconds. Putting that survivor into the dying state grants your teammate 60% lunge increase for 15 seconds. Now, is that consumed on your next lunge? I wouldn't think so by the way they worded it, but when damaging a gen, reveal nearby survivor auras for additional 4 seconds. So pretty cool. That like info ability is kind of like tacked on. I feel like that might not be as useful for some of these, but that's interesting. I feel like Enforcer is not going to be used as much, but we'll see. I mean, that extra lunge could go crazy. It's just the conditions are a bit strange. It's a bit, I think it's trying a little too hard, you know, doing too much, if you will. Last one is Fearmonger. While unseen, grant 5% haste. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be an insta-wraith lock-in. You're unseen, right? Unless it's line of sight, but you're invisible, so how would they know? And when injuring a survivor more than 16 meters from your teammate, they gain 10% haste. Ooh, that's great. Generators completed. Reveal the aura of all survivors with no cage states for additional 4 seconds. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. Basically, if they complete a gen and you get that extra information, you're going to get a little bit more, but they get 12.5% of their total progress via gens. Not super crazy about it, but I guess the info ability is just kind of an extra gimme, right? These are all basically gimmies, right? It's just supposed to be fun, but it's just kind of me thinking out loud and kind of talking about my thoughts on it. Anyway, survivor classes. This is what we're going to be playing most of because the killer queues are way too long. Medic. You and survivors within 8 meters gain a 50% heal speed bonus. Grunts of pain are reduced by 50%. Your ability is fully charged. Press the ability button to instantly heal survivors within 8 meters by 50%. So that's really cool. You just go, and then everybody near you is half healed already. And you have 2 medics, you just, and then you're instantly healed. Pretty cool. Of course, you have to have 2 medics, and you have to coordinate that, but that's still pretty nice. Info, reveal the aura of injured survivors. You get empathy, which is cool. While injured, your scratch marks are suppressed, and your aura is revealed to all other survivors, right? So as a medic, you're basically calling for medicinal help, which is pretty cool. I definitely like that. I wonder if your ability will also heal you. Heal all survivors, so I'm guessing it would. So pretty cool. You can make that work out for yourself. Scout. I believe this was Explorer in the past, right? Yeah, it used to be called Explorer. You and survivors within 8 meters move 100% faster while crouching. You can see the killer within 64 meters, or when you see the killer within 64 meters, reveal their aura to all survivors. When your ability is fully charged, press the ability button near a drop the broken pallet to reset or rebuild it. So this is something they teased on Twitter, which is pretty cool. Rebuilding a pallet is unheard of. Resetting is standard, I suppose, but rebuilding is insane. You just form it up again. But honestly, with the chaos and everything in 2v8, I don't see if it's going to be that insane. One more pallet as your ultimate ability is kind of whatever, but it could be really strong. You never know. It could save your life. So I'm definitely going to be trying that. Reveal the aura of killers performing the break action for 6 seconds. Your walking speed is increased by 25%, and you make no grunts of pain while injured. And that's after you get hooked or caged one time. That's pretty darn cool. That's basically a better version of fixated. I like that. So you're getting fixated. You're getting alert. You're getting... it's not made for this. What is it? That perk you stand up as Yui, but it's going to be instant, it looks like. Pretty damn cool. You're basically getting a full build with these survivor perks now. As opposed, I don't know if it was that way before or not, but anyway, let's check this out. Guide. You and survivors within 8 meters gain an additional 3% bonus progress from great skill checks, and repair sounds are 50% quieter. When your ability is fully charged, press the ability button to grant nearby survivors an 8% repair speed When your ability is fully charged, press the ability button to grant nearby survivors an additional 8% repair speed bonus for 10 seconds. So that's pretty cool. You get quite a bit out of that. And then the unlock ability is a little bit different, but info ability, reveal the aura of any unrepaired generator within 32 meters. Okay, so that's kind of like, so it's a perk that does something very similar, and it goes on cooldown in the base game for about 30 seconds after a gen is completed. So that's pretty nice. Unlock ability, after completing a generator, gain 5% charge per survivor nearby. Next time you work on a generator, those charges are immediately applied to the generator. So that's really cool. I actually saw a video on Twitter where 4 people surrounded a gen and popped this at the same time, so they all had guide. So they all applied 5% to the gen, and it just went by so fast. That's pretty cool. But they have to complete another gen, but it just keeps going, right? It keeps going and going. You just all 4 pop a gen, all 4 pop a gen. But you're also a 4-man squad. It's gonna be very obvious of what you're doing eventually. It's just fun though. It's fun. It's different. I like to see it. And the last one is Escapist. This is going to be the runner perk. When you are a survivor within 8 meters of you start sprinting, gain 50% haste for 3 seconds. This causes exhaustion for 20 seconds and cannot activate while exhausted. When your active ability is fully charged, press the active ability button to make all rushed actions silent for you and nearby survivors for 8 seconds. That's pretty neat. It's pretty sneaky as well. Info, reveal all aura of all pallets and vaults within 16 meters. Kind of a nerf version of Windows. Still not bad though. Gain the ability to heal yourself without a med kit at 70% of the normal healing speed. Okay, so that basically was the OG unlockable, but it's better. Excuse me, and you also don't get unbreakable, so it's better and worse. But you really shouldn't need unbreakable. So last but not least, killer updates. Class being overhauled from the killers, integrate some of their previous class effects into their base kit. Okay, so Trapper. Now Trapper's auras are visible to their teammate, which is cool. Ultimately, you'll see a note below. You don't, as a teammate of a Trapper, you don't trigger his traps, which it makes sense, right? You know, it shouldn't really interact with them. I would be surprised if they did make it, so it just disabled them. But this is good. It doesn't need to happen for Trapper. He's not a strong killer by any means. Increases your haste after setting a bear trap to 15%. That is fantastic. I would love to see it. Your teammate cannot trigger a trap that was previously part of his class, but is now part of his base kit. Yeah, there you go. Makes sense. The Wraith. Increased action speed for breaking walls, pallets, or generators by vaulting by 60% while cloaked. So he basically gets his purple add-on for free, which is so good. I mean, Wraith is just good for basically map control and just like surprise. So him getting that little extra bonus is so nice. I'm happy they added that for him. This one's huge for Billy. The chainsaw will now instantly down healthy survivors. Just kind of made sense before, but he's going to feel a lot better to play now. But they did decrease his turn rate bonus to 30%, so that's fine. I think him getting his insta down back is going to be huge. He's going to be way more, way more scary. You'll be afraid of him. As opposed to before, we just hit you and you just go running. Anyway, Huntress, she got nerfed. Removed the previous 20% hatchet throw cooldown reduction. So, I forget what it's called. It's not babushka, but it's like the shaft, the oak shaft, where you throw a hatchet and you return to M1 really fast. They got rid of that. Huntress is very strong. You could not get away from Huntress and Trapper in the last iteration of 2v8, and she's probably still going to be very viable, despite, you know, having Blight, despite having Spirit. I don't think you're going to see much Death Slinger, honestly, but you might. He does apply a mend, and that does make things slow down a bit. And the last one with Nurse, they nerfed her as well. Starts within 1 meter of the nurse's blink would no longer scream. That was kind of a meme. I mean, 1 meter, right? You have to literally go through them or be on top of them when you arrive. Kind of a weird one. They didn't have to do that, but they did. So anyway, guys, I'm sorry if this seems a bit rushed. It really isn't. I just kind of feel bad that I haven't made a video in a while. I wanted to talk about 2v8. I'm getting sick again if I didn't talk about it already. So I want to do it before my body just like breaks down. It really sucks. I haven't been like double sick in a long time, like years and years. So I'm hoping I can at least get some fun content out for you guys. I know I didn't stream yesterday. I had to go into work late at night. They needed me for networking. So, but anyway, guys, I'll be back again tomorrow. Again, what is it? The 13th, November 13th, 6 p.m. Eastern. Tune in for some 2v8 action. And I'll be releasing a video very soon talking about the new patch and what I think about what is it, the Hound Master. I have a whole video on her coming as well, so lots and lots of cool content coming, and I hope you guys enjoy. Thanks for watching, much love, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!